Buenos días, clase. Hoy es viernes. ¡Yay! Para empezar hoy, yo tengo una cosa cómica que dice, hasta luego. Yo sé, ya. All right, hoy en esta clase, ¿qué vamos a hacer? Yo no sé. ¿Dónde está mi cosa? So a couple quick announcements, reminders for you. You do have un sumativo, you have a summative this next week on your A day. So whether that is Tuesday or Wednesday, you will have a summative. What's it on? The vocabulario de primer año, so the list that we've been working on with GimKit and Quizlet and that you will work on again today. Y también del verbo gustar. So you're going to want to make sure that you know all of the singular forms, so the me, te, le, and we're going to refresh all of that today. And then when you're using the forms of gustar, so gusta or gustan. La otra cosa, your reassessments for the summatives from when you were with Senora Spencer Morales and myself. Those, for my groups, so the groups that I had for quinta and sexta hora, 5th and 6th hour, you have until Tuesday of next week. So I've extended it just a little bit. I am available during Crimson Hour that day. So keep that in mind. The words are on my face. It bugs me. So those do need to get completed. 2 things that you need to have done for me. You need to, first off, you need to make sure that all of your assignments for this last section on Que Hora Es are in. And 2, make sure that you go into Semana 10. So it's week 10 and complete the reassessment practice. So there are 2 pages of practice. Page 1 is if you're redoing the reading portion, and page 2 is if you're doing the writing, which means if you're planning to do both sections, you get to do both pages, but there's dos actividades for each of those. On a total side note, this is my favorite piece of art. It's by Goya. If you're not familiar with him, sad day. But it's called Saturno devorando su hijo. So it's Saturn devouring his son. And if you're familiar with Greek mythology, it will make a whole lot of sense. If you're not, look it up. It is a great painting. A little bit kind of strange looking here, but it's one of my favorites. So just thought I'd throw it in there for you this morning, or this afternoon, perdóname. So, es viernes means we're going to talk about el fin de semana que viene, what's coming. So, we're going to do it a little bit different today, un poco diferente. Por favor, sacan sus cuadernos y los abran a la parte de en clase. All right, so you should be en clase en los cuadernos esta mañana en vez de hablando. Ustedes van a escribir. So I'm going to have you do some writing this morning. Pregunta número 1, ¿qué harás este fin de semana? So what will you do? What I'd like you to do is to choose por mínimo 2 cosas, 2 things that you will do this weekend. So hay muchas opciones que están aquí. The other thing that you absolutely can do is take your lista de vocabulario, so your papel azul, just grab them out of here, maybe. No, see if I can do it without knocking stuff. So este papel azul, and you could use any one of these verbs on here if you're going to do one of these activities this weekend. To do that, if you take a look at the form and what we're seeing here, the only thing you're going to have to do, if you're choosing to use one of the verbs from the lista de vocabulario en vez de, instead of these, is you're going to add an E with an accent mark right to the end of the word. So maybe instead, if I'm going to fish and I'm going to use pescar, I would have pescaré, that I will fish. Or maybe I'm going to correr, maybe I'm going to do some running this weekend, and I would say correr with an E with an accent, correré, that I will run. All right, so take a few moments, una pausa, and come up with por mínimo 2 cosas, but it's not going to be a one-word answer. Vamos a escribir oraciones de año 2, and so you're going to tell me with whom, where, maybe what day, Maybe you're going to tell us in what place or what else might be going on. So I want oraciones completas en español y con mucha información. All right, continuing with that. Pregunta número 2. Como siempre, as always, ¿a dónde irás este fin de semana? To where will you go? So adding right to what you've already written, you're going to tell us to where those events are going to happen. So if in the previous one you said, correré con mi perro, I'm going to run, or I will run with my dog, ¿dónde? So now we would say, yo iré, that I will go, and add the place. So I might say, yo iré al parque de whatever, so some park, con mi familia el sábado por la mañana. So I will go to this park with my family on Saturday morning. Okay, so for each of those, you need to add the a dónde irás, to where will you go. So where are those events happening? Again, otra vez, una pausa. All right, now you're going to turn to your partner, and instead of asking the questions, you're just going to give them a kind of overview. What will you do this weekend? ¿Qué harás este fin de semana? Y incluye la información de a dónde irás también. So maybe yo voy a hablar con mi pareja. I might say, yo caminaré con mi perro este fin de semana con mis amigos. Yo iré al parque al parque central el sábado por la mañana. So I will go to this place this time, but I've already told you what that action is. And then I'm going to do la misma de la información de la segunda o la tercera. Una pausa. All right, muchas gracias. So hoy en esta clase, we are going to express likes and dislikes of both yourself and others. We are going to work on making sure that you are preparados para el examen, el sumativo de día A. So, means we're going to do some vocabulario using Spanish Dict, and we're going to do Gustar practice activities. So, here we go. Oh, helps if I click on the right spot. All right, so, Spanish Dict, there should be a link in Schoologies. Por favor, sacan ustedes sus Chromies. Y hay un link de Spanish Dict. Y aquí, I'm going to pull it up on mine here so you can see. All right, so it looks like this and has los verbos, etc. So this one's a little bit different than what we've been doing. So we're going to start the quiz. And once that quiz starts, it's going to ask you to interact with that vocabulary. So to write, escribir. Woo! Bueno, señora. To have is tener. Woo! To speak is comer. Oh no, oh no. And what you can't hear on mine is that it is actually saying the vocabulary. I wonder if I can if I do that. Ooh. So, comer. Oh, no, mine's not talking today. It's being sad. Leer. All right, so it should. So you are going to want your headphones for it up in the right-hand corner. We want to unmute my audio. Let me try this again. To go. There we go. There, it's doing it. So once I type in the word, it's telling me what it is. To arrive. Llegar. The nice thing, you're hearing the pronunciation correctamente. So getting some good pronunciation in there as well, getting to hear it. This entire quiz, so with all of the vocabulario, is due by Monday night. So that would be before A Day, whichever it is. So for everyone, todas las personas. What you're going to do when you're done is to submit a screenshot showing that you have completed it. And that will go right into Schoology as well. And you should see that assignment, the place for it in there. So this morning, we're going to take this afternoon, we're going to take 7 minutos. And so let me go back to my timer here. So we're going to pause this. You'll get 7 minutos to get going on it. And some of you, if you know your vocabulario muy bien, you might even be complete or at least almost complete by the end of that. Others may have to come back and visit it just a little bit more for the practice. So go ahead and take your 7 minutos. All right, todos de ustedes necesitan este papel. So este papel. So as you're passing those out, I'm actually going to stop this video and I'm going to start a second one just to make sure that I have enough time as we're going through this.